What's going on,
not
man?
today. Not today. Not today. I got an actual T-shirt on because I had to do some laundry.
Well, it's good to see you dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm going to throw on a suit and tie, but put some clothes on for a change.
You dress for the job you want.
Yeah, well,
Before
the
we
job
get
I want to sit on my ass.
before we get too far into this, before we get rolling, I just want to take a
Mhm.
minute. It has been a busy week around here for birthdays. With my baby sister, I think she's 29 now, maybe 30. Her birthday was last Wednesday.
Baby.
Yeah, well, I'll be 40. She's like 10 years younger than me. And then my old man's birthday, Pop's birthday was Monday. I think he's like 95 now. I don't know. He's
Something
getting
like that.
he's
All right.
getting about that age where he's going to be put in a home. And then today is a very, very special birthday. Not that theirs aren't, but my baby girl, not really my baby girl anymore. Today is her 16th birthday. So,
Thank God I
and
live in Mexico. She's going to be driving.
yeah, right. Hopefully. And not only that, but she shares a birthday with my future father-in-law. So happy
Well, there
birthday
you
to
go.
all you
Happy
guys.
birthday to everybody.
Hopefully
And
everybody
I do
enjoyed
want to
their
give a
days.
quick shout out to, I'm pretty sure that, Chris, you might actually agree with me, our number one fan, my mother, who literally could not wait for episode 5 to be posted. She literally sat down and rewatched episode 5 because she's like, it's not ready. Why is it not ready? I can't wait that long. I'm like, it'll be up for tonight. She's like, I can't wait. Although she did say, she said that Saturday when you left me alone so you could run to the restroom, she thought was hilarious.
Nice.
I don't know why that's funny, but okay. So hey,
Well,
Mom.
I'm sorry it took me so long, Mom. I will do my best to get this one up and posted as soon as possible. So maybe if I had a little bit of help on the editing and posting side, it wouldn't take so long. But
yeah, it would be easier if I'm still trying to figure out how to sign in from this end.
I know you can't even sign into half the social media.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of a pain in the ass to do so.
You know, it is what it is. If I can do it, I think I think you can handle it.
I'll get my 5-year-old my 5-year-old to show me how to do it. I don't know, but she'll be like, yeah, you just do this.
I'll tell you what, most people, we wouldn't be that big of a task to set up all the social media platforms and the email and all this stuff, the streaming apps and to set up the podcasting app and all that stuff. It wouldn't be that hard for them, but computers, I mean, look at me and listen to my voice. Computers and I aren't friends. So
me neither. We're friends in the fact that I want to be friends, but they don't like me. I'm like the nerdy kid that wants to play kickball, but can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, I don't even want to be their friends. I mean, we got these smartphones, and I'm like, could I play music and listen to talk radio on it and play games? I don't care about all the other features. Yeah. Well, this phone does this, and this, and I'm like, I don't even.
You're
know
one up on me. You have
is.
Snapchat. You're one up on me. You have Snapchat. I can't. I can't be bothered. I have an Instagram account that I almost never use. I should. I've been told a million times, you need to keep posting your Instagram. I'm like, I got other stuff to do.
It's the reason why when I posted that we were going live tonight, and you said, why do I have to look like the crackhead? Because you don't ever post any pictures, so I can't find anything.
I'm not the person to I don't take selfies. I literally, after you posted that picture, I was like, wow, I look like shit. So I literally sat there at my desk in the hotel and I took like 25 selfies and they all looked like crap. I was like, how do I make myself look cool? And I couldn't do it.
That's why you got to download Snapchat so you can take the pictures on Snapchat and you get all the cool filters and this, that, and everything else. And then you can make yourself look cool. Yeah. But at the same time, I didn't want to be that guy who be like, hey, bro, can you send me like 5 or 6 selfies.
Send me a picture. No,
Yeah, right.
that does sound a little like you're trying to come on to me. So, no, I totally understand why you didn't. And
So
I
instead,
didn't
I
want to be
go
like,
through your
I'm going to
Facebook.
send you some selfies. Yeah, I don't take pictures. My
Yeah.
wife takes millions of pictures because she's a chick, and I'm just like, yeah. I had to take one for work. I took one picture and I said, "There you go." The boss was like, "Can you open your eyes?" I'm like,
Ugh,
give me a minute.
so much work.
I said, I just want to sell and do my job. You mean I got to take pictures too? Good Lord.
And
This
that's
was
the
not part of
problem.
the job description.
That's part of the problem that I'm running into with this whole podcast thing, because I am horrible about using social media.
Oh,
I mean, we're on episode 6. I can't believe we've already done 6 of these, and people actually
I
listen
know.
to it. But
And that we're on 6 in general is like astonishing to me, because I have a TikTok that I haven't posted on in months because I'm like, I can't be bothered.
yeah, it's
But
probably
this
it's
is something different. It's something I actually look forward to, because like I said the other day to somebody, I said, you and I talk for hours on end about stupid shit anyway. So the difference is we record it.
exactly. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't talk to I talk to you and I talk to my girlfriend. That's about it as far as social interaction goes. And I like that. I like my little circle. Every once in a while,
Yeah, I don't. I literally there's I walk into the hotel where I'm at, and there's 15, 20 people that are doing the exact same job I am, working for other companies, and I barely acknowledge them. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Stay out of my way. I go sit in my little corner, or my little section of the desk, and call my clients and do my job and go home.
What's going on, Haas? Thanks for tuning in, bud. Haas
What's
is
up,
on
brother?
Facebook.
Haas, how you
Sorry,
doing?
I was late. I was late to share or get on Facebook so I can see the comments. Yeah, no, he's yelling at me already. But yeah, I mean, so I do look forward to doing this. I just got to get better at the social media aspect of it.
We tend to post a lot on the Facebook page, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, and we will. I mean, well, and that's where I was going with being 6 episodes in.
Right.
The last thing I posted on Instagram or TikTok, for that matter, was episode 2. Now Twitter, every time I post an episode, after I go through the editing and all that jazz, I share it to Twitter and Facebook instantly.
Right.
Oh, but it's a whole process to share it on Instagram.
That's a whole almost like a what's like muscle reflex to post something on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because
it's right there.
Yeah, Facebook is, no matter. I mean, you could be on Facebook for 3 hours. Go, oh, I'm bored with this. You go off, and like 2 minutes later, like, what's on Facebook? You're like, shit. I just where Instagram. I think I've opened my Instagram twice in the past 2 months.
Oh, I go on Facebook or Instagram a couple times a day. But I look at
car pictures.
And I go on there and I'm like, I'm going to go on there and I'm going to post. But then I just like, I'm bored with Instagram and I don't even post. So it's like, okay. So I got to get better about it.
I literally follow a couple of celebrities that I find attractive. And
of course you do.
And car people.
Yeah.
Car people. Oh, there's something about some of the people that post car pictures on Instagram are on a whole nother level of cars. I mean, I was going to send you a picture of this. It's a Volkswagen Beetle, but it's lowered to the point where you will literally lose part of the floor, but the front end coming off the nose of this Beetle is a Formula One car. If that makes any sense.
Why?
I don't know, but it looked cool. Like it was in process of build. Like they're using the Beetle as the basically the seat, and the rest is open wheel race car. I was like, yeah, you're weird, but I want to see what happens.
You're weird. I want to see you die.
Yeah, because if anybody's ever driven a Beetle, an older Beetle, for any length of time, they rattle like, and they don't feel safe. Even a fully restored one. I restored one for a client about 2 years ago, and I restored every floor panel, the whole 9 yards. That thing is brand new. And after I got done driving it back to him, I'm like, this thing's still not safe. It's a brand new. He sunk tons of money into it. I'm like, it still doesn't feel safe.
It's still scary as shit, but I guess it'll
sketchy.
do. Yeah.
But no, there's some of the people on there. I'm watching a guy right now build an S10 with a turbo 4-cylinder out of a boat. That's blowing my mind.
That just doesn't make any sense.
That's what I said. Well, somebody sent him a message like, why don't you put an LS in it? V8 out of a Silverado or Corvette. And he's like, what? And be like everybody else? I'm like, yeah, but a 4-cylinder. But 4-cylinders nowadays, if you beef up a 4-cylinder nowadays, you can still get like 600 horsepower out of it. That's a crap ton of horsepower from a 4-cylinder motor.
It sounds like a lot of work to get that much horsepower out of a 4-banger.
Not really. You're talking the turbo he's using is the size of my head. Like the turbo on your car is like the size of my fist compared to the size of my head. So the bigger the turbo, the more pressure you put into the cylinder head, and then the more power you get. So a small turbo aftermarket that you buy that's the size of like two fists, you'll gain 100 horsepower right there. So you're talking something the size he's putting in, he'll get 200-300 horsepower just by putting on the turbo. I'm not sure on the math there, but it's pretty close.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you couldn't correct me if I was wrong, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I could Google it. Those
yeah, you know what? Googling what size turbo you put on a vehicle. There's so many. You got the eBay special that's like $10, and the exact same size one from Gretty or something like that costs like $400. And they're two totally different horsepower ratings and boost ratings and all that stuff. So it's you almost have to be extremely specific when it comes to that. It's retarded. It's like you trying to explain, what a safety is in football. I'm just you're like duh, and if you're explaining what a safety is in football, I'm like duh.
Well, now that we've
I couldn't tell you.
I think we've beat that dead horse enough.
Yeah.
Jeff's Garage segment. Welcome to Jeff's Garage.
Yeah, follow me for more useless information that may not be true, but it sounds good.
Yeah. Speaking of football,
yeah.
Those of you who may be listening and or watching right now that are football fans, hopefully, much like myself, you guys are excited. Tomorrow is a big day. Kicks off. NFL Draft Day starts tomorrow.
Ooh.
So, a lot of teams out there.
I'd be interested in watching that after seeing the movie Draft Day.
Well, it's not anything like the movie. It's literally they
yeah, you don't get the behind the scenes like in the movie, but.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. I think the Jets are probably the number one overall pick again for the 9th year in a row or something. I honestly don't know who the number one pick is, but it's essentially they're like, oh, the Jets, you're on the clock, and they got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever to go to their war room.
I think it's 15, according to the movie. I base every info I have about sports based on a movie. So, I mean. If you ask me about baseball, I can quote Major League with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
And Moneyball but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I love the movie Moneyball, though.
No, so yeah, like I said, tomorrow's a big day for football fans. I know for me, being a Cleveland Browns fan, obviously,
No,
this is the
no
first
kidding.
draft. This is the first draft in forever that we're going into it. A, not needing a quarterback, and B, not really needing anything at all. So we're just adding depth. Now you got teams like Cincinnati that's going to shoot themselves in the face because they're more than likely, instead of taking an offensive lineman that they need, they're probably going to take a wide receiver, which will be fine for me because Cincinnati will continue to suck and Cleveland will steamroll them again tomorrow or this season. So, but I am looking forward to that. That's what I'm gonna be doing when I get off work tomorrow. Is coming home, watching the draft. I don't even know that, and this is a rarity for me. I don't even know that I'll be up long enough to see the Browns make their first round pick because
I was going to say,
they're
do you know
picking
what pick they
so
are?
late. 26, 26 or 28. Usually they're in the top 5, but that was because they had, the draft order based off of your regular season record. So whoever has the worst
That was
record.
going to be my next question because once again, according to the movie, they never really went into how. I mean, they explained the trade thing, but I never really understood how they got their original lineup, so to speak, of picking order.
Yeah, it's based off of your regular season record. So the worst team will have the number 1 pick, and then obviously whoever wins the Super Bowl
That's
will
why
have
the
last
Jets are. That explains why the Jets are number 1 again. Okay, now that totally makes sense. Now the comment about the Jets
the Jets the Jets.
That actually makes sense to me now.
The Jets are an absolute disaster. They can't.
Careful, all of New York will come down to Ohio and beat on you now.
Don't give a goddamn. I'll gather up the
600
dog
people show up
pound.
at your door.
I'll
600
gather up the
people show
dog
up at your
pound.
door.
You want to fucking dance? That's all right. I'll start swinging. I'll be that one crazy guy that jumps up on stage in a mosh pit and just dives into it. Let's dance.
Speaking of diving, I don't know if you posted it to Facebook, but the dried out stingrays.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, somebody has posted pictures of people collect stingrays. The ones that killed Steve Irwin, and they dry them out like almost mummify them, so to speak, I guess. And then they post these pictures of what they look like. They look like aliens. They freaked me out, dude.
They are incredibly creepy looking. I mean, almost to a point where they're really fucking cool. And I posted a picture on our Facebook page over at Nonsensical Nonsense. So if you guys aren't already, go check that out and go follow, and you can see what we're talking about. But yeah,
that kind of shit give you nightmares. If I saw, I mean, a buddy of mine saw him, and he was like, "Oh, I'd hang that up on my wall." I'm like, "What are you, fucking nuts? So it can come down off the wall at night and steal your soul?"
Could you imagine having that hung up on your wall, and you wake up and you're like half asleep and it's dark, or you got maybe a little bit of light in there,
and it's at the foot of the bed. It's hanging at the wall at the foot of the bed, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" You're waking up your significant other going, "Honey, give me the bat. Fuck that. Give me the shotgun. Give me the shotgun. I'm taking this fucking thing out." She's like, "We hung that up last week." I don't know. It's got to die. No. It's dead. Are you sure? I think it winked at me.
Well, better you're gonna give yourself a fucking heart attack. I mean,
no shit.
But they are insane. That they are creepy as hell, but at the same time, it's really cool the way they look.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if I saw them in like an aquarium or something. Like the evolution of stingray dried out. That'd be like, well, those are kind of interesting. But these were like for sale to hang on your wall and stuff, in like somewhere here in the Caribbean or I don't know where, but like Jamaica or some shit.
Probably anywhere there's a coastline because Florida's got them and
Yeah.
everything else. I mean,
All I know is I saw
South
them and I
Carolina,
was like,
we had stingrays.
I stared at those pictures for the longest time before reading anything. And then it said at the top, it said dried out stingrays. And I was like, that's what that is? Holy shit. No wonder they killed Steve Irwin. He saw one of these fuckers dried out and they were like, you've seen us naked. We're going to kill you.
Their true form. Yeah, their true form.
They're alien, fuck up, demonic. I mean, they look like little demons. Straight from hell,
well, I mean, the Welcome Back House, the government's finally, coming out and they're like, oh, aliens are real. It's like, well, we've all known that for the last 50 years.
Well, more than that, the Benny and Barney Hill were the first people to be, I guess, taken serious. Yeah, well, they were abducted, and then their story makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know a whole lot about them.
They were taken serious to a point.
But they don't look like the kind of people that are like trying to get fame or fortune or something. Because they were talking like, what was it, like 57, something like that, or 47, and 1947.
I would say it was like 50. It was like in the 50s, I believe. I actually 40s, 50s, strangely enough that you brought that up, I was actually watching a thing about them just yesterday.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I was on YouTube and I fell into an American Horror Story wormhole. Of videos easy. Where, the videos, a guy that on YouTube, and he breaks down like the true stories behind certain cast members or certain characters on American Horror Story, and he was doing Asylum, so they had a whole big section on that couple and their abduction and everything like that. And like I said, they were taken serious to a degree, but at the same time, they were also kind of made out to be more of a spectacle.
Because the fact that they were a mixed race couple.
Yeah, in the 50s.
That right there says we don't want 60s, really the recognition, but this shit happened. And somebody was talking about it. I was watching a video where they're talking about it, and nobody knows where the car is. And the car, apparently, the back of the car was all fucked up, like scratches on the trunk and shit. And I was like, that'd be something to see.
Yeah, we'll never see it. Just like we'll never see it inside of Area 51.
Just like we'll never know who killed Kennedy, or who actually killed Jeffrey Epstein. Oop.
Hold it, you brain, and derail this whole fucking train. Well, that's the show, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
No, there's certain things that I don't care how much.
You think if I keep putting
agencies
there,
or
maybe I'll
what is that?
Budweiser.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Oh,
I'm working on my sponsorship.
I'm drinking water today. Yeah, sponsorship. I'm drinking water today just because I had a huge headache earlier. Like I took an ibuprofen the size of a horse.
Nice, one of the 800s.
Yeah, well, yeah, something like that. It was huge, but it's gel form, so it's really weird. But this thing had
things just got interesting.
Yeah, it did.
you brought up Epstein. So today in the weather, we're looking at partly cloudy, chance of thunderstorm. Epstein didn't kill himself. Looking ahead tomorrow, we're going to have sunny skies.
I don't know who said it, but stockings, Christmas lights, and Jeffrey Epstein, 3 things that didn't hang themselves. You know what I mean?
That's one of those things I just don't.
Did you watch the documentary about that dude?
About Epstein?
Yeah. The Epstein Filthy Rich or whatever it was.
What's going on, Sid? Hello, Bangor.
Hey, Sid. How you doing?
No, because we got to laugh out of Hoss. That's a good positive thing. No, because, again, I just don't care enough. Like,
Oh,
the guy was a scumbag. The guy was an absolute
definitely.
scumbag.
Well,
And,
I wanted to know
deserves to
secrets
be
that
dead.
he apparently had cameras, like lipstick cameras, talking like dime size, in the walls of his mansion in New York. And there's apparently hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of hours of video from all over that house
I imagine.
of very powerful people. I'm like, I want access to that.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if they were doing a quarter of the things that were said that they were doing, of course he's going to have video. Of course he's going to have pictures. That's what we like to call blackmail and extortion.
Oh yeah. There's a reason why somebody gave him that big ass house in New York, and there's a reason why somebody gave him the island. They didn't do it out of the kindness of their fucking heart. Exactly. He was like, "Hey, I'm looking at this island." They're like, "It's yours.
It's yours.
Here's the keys, motherfucker." Like I said, just give me one rich guy's folder. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, right. Sid says, Sid in the chat says we look like some dudes that would deep fry the heck out of a turkey. We're his kind of people.
Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried that?
I have never done it personally.
Have you tried it?
Yeah. No, I've eaten it several times.
I haven't gotten a chance yet. I have a deep fryer, so I'm gonna deep fry me some turkey this year.
Chat amongst yourselves. My son is blowing me up on my phone, and I don't know what's going on. So let me see what's going on, and I'll be right back.
Why are you guys live?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but he's called me like 6 times, even after I've sent him a message telling him that I'm right in the middle of recording a podcast. So go
ahead.
Give me a minute. Go back to talking about cars.
Oh shit, that's funny. No, I truly believe that there's some evidence out there that on some people that I'd love to get some info on. But the whole deep fried turkey thing, I think that it sounds good, but looks extremely dangerous. I've never tried it. I'd like to. So anybody want to send me a giant deep fried turkey, I'll do it live on Facebook or on YouTube. I think that'd be cool. I guess he's almost off the phone. I don't know. I'm lost. Oh, there he's back. Thank God, because I'm running out of shit to say.
Podcast etiquette.
I was just talking about. I've never tried the whole deep fried turkey thing, but if somebody wants to send me a big deep fryer, I'll deep fry one live on Haps.
Yeah. No, they're amazing, but you got to be careful because
well, people have lost houses because of that shit.
Yeah, you get too much moisture.
Well, no, the problem is I've seen the videos. The problem is people don't defrost their fucking turkey first. They don't get 100% defrosted yet.
Haas is the resident pit boss. He might have a better idea. Yeah. So yeah, everything's fine. Sorry about that interruption, guys. Sorry I left you with Jeff alone.
Yeah, that's okay. I just rambled about turkey.
But it's storming up here. So, and my son is not a big fan of storms, and it just stormed where they were. So he was calling me to tell me that I have a storm is coming. My way.
Winter's coming, Dad. Winter's coming.
I was like, dude, I'm literally right in the middle of recording my podcast, and he was like, I know. And I was just like,
we're watching.
I was like, so why did you call me? I sent him a message, and I was like, hey, buddy, I'm right in the middle of recording my podcast. I turned the mic off. I stayed on camera. You were talking. And it was like, hey, buddy, I'm right in the middle of recording my podcast. I'll call you when I get done. And I said, is everything okay? And then he was like, blown. I'm like, oh, God. Did something happen? Did they kill? Did one of the kids kill the other one? Are they trying to hide a body? What's going on?
He's just telling you a story about his day, and you're like, I gotta go.
Dad, there's a storm coming your way. Okay, I'm like, all right. I said, was it bad? And he was like, no, not really. I'm like, okay, dude, well, I gotta go. And he's like, so anyways, bye, I love you. And I was like, Thanks, buddy.
my
We're professionals.
my son's staying at his grandmother's overnight, and he called me. He's like, "Did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier without me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I had to." He's like, "Why? Why did you have to?" I said, "Because Chris and I are going to discuss it today." And he's like, "You watched it without me? What happened? Tell me." So I kind of did a quickie breakdown. He's like, "Is anybody really cool in it?" I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, you know, Falcon, Winter Soldier." He's like, "No, but I mean, like, does Captain America show up?" I'm like, "Not the one you know.
No.
The asshole one does."
The fake one.
Yeah, but I remember when the first couple episodes came out, when they first show the fake Captain America, people were like, "Oh, a lot of people don't like the new Captain America." I'm like, "Of course not. He's made to look like an asshole. He wasn't made to be likable." I'm like, "Did you people not watch the show?" Because that's what was running through my head. I was like, "Okay." As soon as you see him, he's got this shitty grin on, and he just looks like a douchebag, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna like this guy." And
yeah,
for good reason. He's not.
He's just
He wasn't written. He wasn't written to be a nice guy or a. Well, even technically, he's a good guy, but he wasn't cut out to be Captain America.
Yeah, he's just an ass man.
But like I said, he did his acting did really good because you believed the guy was an asshole. That's a true mark of a good actor. Is if you watch, I mean, did you ever see the movie The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin?
No, that movie's old as hell too, and
yeah, that movie's old as fuck. But I'm telling you, you watch that and you're like, "Wow, I hate this fucking kid. I hate this fucking kid." And you know, it was
I'm sure
not
there were
long
some
after
people
the
that
Home Alone
hated
thing.
him. And
well,
yeah, I'm sure there were people that hated him in Home Alone.
Well, my dad was like, he was funny in that Home Alone. We'll watch this movie, and we watch it, and he's like, "Wow, this kid's a fucking asshole." My dad's not the kind of guy. Yeah, it's totally. But that's the mark of a good actor, that he can play the kid that everybody loves, or most 90% of people love, and then he plays the person that you're like, "Wow, I want to kill this kid. I want to punch this kid in the face."
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Apparently, it's supposed. I don't know if it's true. I haven't looked it up. Maybe you could on your Google Meister. That supposedly it's Kurt Russell's son that plays the fake Captain America.
I have no idea what. Well, before we get into this, anybody who has not seen
spoilers,
his parents are Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
I'll be damned. There you go, Goldie Hawn.
Those are two really good genes to have.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn.
Kurt Russell's
and
a
this
badass.
guy looks like a fucking turd.
Douche.
like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I hated him in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But yeah, anybody who is currently watching Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Spoiler
or
alert.
plans on watching it, you might want to tune out for like 5 minutes. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because
we got other shit to fry.
Yeah, there's no reason to spend too much time on it. But other than the fact that
it was really good.
It was an amazing show. Like I said, me being a comic book nerd growing up, I love how much they.
Now, see, I never read a lot of the Captain America comics just because of access. Oddly enough, I read a lot more DC, and I was really into Ghost Rider for a while. I don't know why.
Yeah, Ghost Rider was always really good. But I mean,
I was hugely into Punisher. But how close to the comics was the show? I know. When Falcon comes out as Captain America, the uniform is like spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it was all pretty much spot on, even to the fact that they had Torres in the show, which was at the first episode, the Air Force guy that was helping Sam.
The Rhodey.
No, not Rhodey.
Oh no! Okay. Yeah, you're talking about
on the
the.
show.
Yeah.
And then they showed
Little
the
White
kid in the
Bill.
streets
Yeah,
and like with the
he's driving
super
that Hummer.
soldiers. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
okay.
showed him in the streets with the super soldiers, and he got his ass handed to him.
Like you
Well,
read about.
yeah. Well, Torres becomes Falcon.
Oh, does he?
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
when
they teased it a little bit because when somebody ripped the wings off the old suit and
the fake
uh,
Captain America did, he used the shield to break the
okay,
wings off.
yeah, there it is. And he's talking to Torres and he's like, "Do you want to take this with you?" And Falcon literally tells him, "Keep him."
Yeah, keep them. So
And I was like,
so just
"Ooh."
like little things in there that they dropped, and it was like, ooh.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The one question I have was the chick from Seinfeld. Who is she?
Okay,
The chick
first
that
of all,
played Val.
I'm a bad guy. So I never watched Seinfeld.
Okay, well, she was Val. She's the one that went to fake Captain America after he lost the shield, and she handed his wife that card.
Mhm.
The wife's like, "Who are you?" And she doesn't say anything to her, hands her card, and then when she walks away, the card's blank. I thought that was hilarious. They're like, "There's nothing on this."
Yeah.
But who was that in the comics? I mean,
What the hell? I'm trying to see. She's one of those. She basically, I don't know what agency she works for, but she fronts fake ass Captain America when he becomes U.S.
Yeah.
agent.
right?
They're
Okay,
like,
so I'm guessing she's like CIA or
yeah,
or one of them clandestine black ops shit.
yeah. So she's the one that funds him and gives him his new suit and all that stuff.
Right.
But I don't know right off the top of my head
What her name is, except for Val.
what agency she works for. Because U.S. agent isn't a good guy, isn't really a bad guy. He kind of floats in between and just does whatever the hell he wants in the comics. But I'm curious to see if they continue his character on Falcon and Winter Soldier, or now Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Right, because at the end there, it literally says Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then words Falcon fades away, and it comes up as Captain America and Winter Soldier, and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice a little bit of the wokeness of the show? There's a little bit of woke area.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's 2021, but you're going to have that in every.
It wasn't profound, but it was there.
It wasn't shoved
wasn't
down
in your face. Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of new shows out that they shove it so far down your throat, I can't even watch it. I'm like, oh, it's too woke. They're trying to preach. I don't want to listen to that.
It was there enough to get your attention, but it wasn't there enough to make you go, come on,
right.
I just want to watch Bucky and Sam.
I just want to ignore all the world wants. Yeah. No, the fight between the chicks from Wakanda and fake Cap and Winter Soldier and Falcon, those chicks are badass.
Big ass Captain America thought he was a tough guy.
He thought he was tough. The problem I have with that scene,
that spear in his head.
The problem I have with that scene is Zemo ducks out and goes down to that sewer. Nobody thought maybe we should follow him.
Well, they did.
Like, they were like, there's the hole. We know he went down there. Yeah. Let's go out the front door. I was like, the opportunity's right there. He couldn't have gone that far.
You were reading too much.
It's a sewer.
He's got to get away so him and Bucky can have their come to Jesus meeting, and then he'll go back, and then he goes back to Wakanda willingly. Like him and Bucky have their meeting and kind of squash everything to a certain degree. And then
that therapy scene cracked me up when they're arguing about spread your legs. No, you spread yours. Oh my God, they play so well off each other that you're just. I mean, they did it in Civil War as well.
Yeah.
That,
Well, and
that
they're like that in real life. The way they
right.
if you sit down and again another wormhole that I like to fall into on YouTube is Comic Con
Oh
and
yeah,
Anthony Mackie and the guy who plays
the dude who plays
Bucky.
Bucky.
I can't think of his name. He's got like a real simple name. It's like Sam Semper something. I'll figure it out. But they just
They quit.
torment the shit out of each other.
And they do it with Tom Holland as well.
Yeah,
they were giving Tom Holland shit about something about the Spider-Man movie, and Tom Holland fired right back, and he says, "Well, I haven't seen the Falcon movie yet." Oh, that's right, there isn't one.
Sebastian Stan.
That's what it is.
Bucky. But yeah, so I mean, those two just fuck with each other constantly. So that chemistry that's off screen makes the on screen chemistry so good. But Bucky don't get his ass kicked. He messes around with Sarah too much.
Yeah.
Sam said, "Don't even think about
it." I thought that was cute because you see him go on that date with the Asian girl, and then he just bounces, and then when he meets Sarah, he's like, "Hey, I'm Bucky." And Sam's just like, "Motherfucker, I'm right here."
Don't you dare.
But the whole them fixing up the boat thing was kind of funny as well, because Sam's sitting there with a hammer trying to pry off that piece of metal, and all of a sudden Bucky just comes over, the metal arm just. But something that I was watching Watch Mojo, and they were talking about scenes from that, and when the pipe starts spraying out and Bucky uses the pliers instead of his metal hand, Sam asks him, he says, "Why didn't you use the metal arm?" He says, "Oh, I'm right-handed. I didn't even think about it."
Yeah.
And you see him later on when he gets the call from the super soldier chick that's running the whole bad guys, quote unquote. He takes the phone with the metal arm. So he does good with his right arm and the sketchy stuff with his left.
Oh yeah, so
you know what I mean? It's like he's like, I use this hand for, like, if Sam called him, he would pick up with his right hand. Yeah. But if if Zemo calls him, he's going to pick up with a metal arm. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, like you said, there's a whole bunch of those hidden little
little subtle things that you wouldn't even think of until you watch it like 4 or 5 times. Which just tells me that the people at Watch Mojo got way too much time on their hands.
Oh, well, Watch Mojo, again, is another one of those, if their damn videos were 10, 20 minutes long, I like to go in and sit down on I sit down and take my 45-minute shits, as my girlfriend tells me I do. It's just like the one place in the house that I'm not bothered.
One place you don't get bothered, except for the fact that the kids come to the door and go, "Hey, Dad, what are you doing?"
No, that's actually Summer that does that. She slides me little love notes under the door, which I love. Don't get me wrong; it cracks me up because it'll be like,
no, my kids will come to the door and knock on the door. "What are you doing?" And I always tell them the same thing: "I'm building a rocket. What do you think I'm doing?"
No, my kids have always known that when I go to the bathroom, leave me alone. Let me do it. Just give me my time.
Let me do my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
my kids have no boundaries when it comes to shit like that. My wife will send me texts. "Are you done?" I'm like, "No, I'm almost finished with this game."
Yeah.
Let me finish this race.
I am busy. Leave me alone. I'm contemplating life.
The secrets of life, yeah. I'm fixing the world's problems. Leave me alone. I was so close. You made me lose it all. I got to start all over.
Yeah, now I got to start over. I know, but you get into those videos, man, on YouTube. The next thing you know, like your entire lower half is asleep, and you're like, "Well, I guess I gotta be done," and you fall off the fucking toilet.
Well, no, but not only that. YouTube is dangerous like that. I remember, watching on the phone or on the TV is one thing, but when you're the old setup, I don't know how it is on laptops anymore, but the old setup where they have the recommended videos on the side, you'll go through a rabbit hole and 10 minutes will turn into 12 hours real quick.
Well, I usually
and you don't even know where you started.
Yeah, you get the recommended videos underneath the videos, so I won't even go full screen. I'll just start scrolling through the recommended videos while I'm watching another video. And it's just like, oh, that looks good. Then I'll click on it just long enough that it'll go into my library as recently viewed. That way,
and then you watch it later.
Yeah. But the only downfall to that is a lot of times when you click on another video and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go back to the video I was just watching. It takes you right back to the freaking home screen. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was. It's a 20-minute video, and I don't remember where I was. And you got to spend 2 or 3 minutes trying to hit that sweet spot right where you were. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Where you could, in the meantime, you could have just watched the whole video and then gone to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
In the same amount of time. No, but one of the things, if I really want to fall into a wormhole, I'll put in just conspiracy theories into YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm done for the next 12 hours. I'm gone. You can't find me. I don't know where I started.
I can't do conspiracy theories.
I love watching shit on JFK and 9/11. That shit just.
Yeah, I can't do conspiracy theories because the conspiracy theorists and Kevin Hawley, you're becoming one, are fucking lunatics.
Some of them are fucking way out there.
It's like, what drugs are you on that you believe anything that's coming out of your mouth? And
the one that cracks me up is that 9/11 was predicted by the $20 bill. Because if you fold it just right, it shows 2 towers burning. I'm like, you know what? If you fold it just right, you can make it look like a spaceship. If you fold it just right, you can make it look like I'm on the $20 bill.
Yeah, and it's like, here, let me see that $20 bill. I'm going to show you how to fold it just right so it ends up in my pocket,
my wallet. Yeah.
No, I like a lot of
bill. Anybody that wants to sponsor us.
Budweiser, we're talking to you.
Yes.
I'm gonna start tagging
Budweiser, Coca-Cola.
I'm gonna start tagging and
Marlboro.
Hashtagging Budweiser in all of our videos just to see if maybe I'll get their attention one day. I'm like, I've been drinking
they'll send you a case of beer to shut you the fuck up.
I've been drinking your beer since I was 15 years old, you sons of bitches. There is no better sponsor than this guy. 25 years strong, drinking your beer.
They'll send you a case of beer and be like, okay, there's free beer. Now shut up. Leave us alone. We don't want to watch your silly podcast.
I'm only going to shut up until this case is gone. So you have exactly about 12 and a half hours. I'm gonna blackmail Budweiser into a sponsorship. They're like, how the fuck are we? Why are we buying into this?
Why are we paying this guy money? He sucks.
He's a multi-billion-dollar company getting screwed over by some jackass on Facebook.
He's got 400 social media accounts. We can't just ignore him.
He's tagging us in every damn thing. He took a picture of a tree and tagged us. It's inspirational.
He says it was in Anheuser-Busch. The tree was in St. Louis, Missouri.
Inspiration brought to you by Budweiser.
You'll become one of the real men of genius. Today we salute you, Mr. Blackmails a major corporation.
For free beer.
For free beer.
All he wants is free beer. He wants a free.
He doesn't even want money. What the fuck?
He wants a kegerator.
He just doesn't want to pay for beer.
He wants a kegerator, a free keg a month, and a Cleveland Browns tap. That's all he wants.
We can buy this guy off cheap. This is cheap. We're saving money.
Fucking give it to him.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I do enjoy Budweiser. many flavors and
I
varieties of Budweiser.
I used to drink.
Speaking of Budweiser, so my dumbass today I get a friend request on Facebook, and I just see the notification. It was like, and it was Budweiser, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like this is awesome! Budweiser wants to be my friend on Facebook." I get all excited and I click on it, and it was like, it was Budweiser spelled wrong, first of all, and then it was like some guy, like the guy's name underneath was like D-Pep something or another. Oh, you son of a bitch! I went from being
got me,
crazy. I went from being like super excited to just pissed in a matter of seconds. I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker! I want to come to India or Egypt or wherever you are and kick your ass."
And make you buy me beer.
We're gonna come to your country where you're not even allowed to drink beer and make you buy beer. But I like screenshotted and everything. I was gonna make a post like, "Oh, look,
Budweiser's following me." You know what's funny? If you wouldn't have noticed the misspelling of Budweiser, you would have been ripped to shreds by trolls just going,
"Oh yeah,
you're retarded."
I mean, it was spelled right. It was all spelled right, and they capitalized the I in the middle. You know,
okay.
And then then you like go to their page and it's all Budweiser posts, and I'm like,
all right,
something don't seem right here. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker, man!" I was all the way up here, like, hell yeah. And then instantly I was brought back down. Budweiser don't want to be my friend. Oh, damn it.
They don't even know I exist.
Yeah.
Even though I bought their corporate cars.
Yeah. It's like,
bought somebody a Mercedes.
Yeah, somebody's kids went through college because of my drunk ass. That's for sure.
That's hilarious.
Fuck it. Dude, I don't even know if I deleted the screenshot. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, no, that I gotta see.
I was just like,
I screenshot everything. I
got in trouble.
I don't know why.
Speaking of screenshots, I got in trouble today for taking a screenshot of my girlfriend.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm not allowed to have any more pictures or any more video chats or anything like that. I don't even get to see her again until July at this point.
That's the funny thing is I have the TikTok channel, I have my YouTube channel, and you know all this stuff, and every time I do like a TikTok where I turn to my wife or something, she's like, "You post that and you're dead." Yeah. I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "I don't have any makeup on." I'm like, "Babe, you're beautiful. What the hell?" She's like, "No, I don't want people knowing." I'm like, "What? Are you embarrassed?" She's like, "No, it's not about that. I'm not ready." Like,
I don't know. I think I'd be more afraid of the fact that it sounds like she may have split personalities because her voice goes from sounding like this to. And she's like, does she not have a Spanish accent? That's the thing. Like, do these personalities?
She does. The funniest thing,
split personality.
She's gonna kill me. But the funniest thing, when she gets angry, she'll tell me to stop. Oh. She'll go stop, but she doesn't say stop because English isn't her second language. She says stop. So I start saying it back, and she gets madder, and she's like, "Stop!" And I'm like, "Stop!"
You do realize Latino chicks will stab you?
Oh yeah,
for no reason, let alone if you give them a reason.
Well, one of the things that will when you start dating a Latin chick, you'll realize one thing: they bite. They bite, literally. My wife, out of nowhere, she's just like, "I love you so much," and then bite my arm, and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's attached!"
I think that's all women in general.
But my wife will get me. She'll get me right here in the soft spot of the bicep. Just
shove her face into your armpit.
I smell good though. That'd be too much pleasure. She'll bite me again. That's the problem.
Crackheads never smoke good. Why do I gotta look like the crackhead? Well,
I seriously, that was like the worst picture of me ever. I'm like, because I watch these things on YouTube, like how to get more views, and how to break the algorithm for YouTube. So when I post a YouTube video, you're supposed to have yourself a picture of a person, preferably yourself, a little bit of a description in words, no more than 4 or 5 words or something like that, and a picture of what you're doing. So I'm like, goofy selfie, edit the picture and do all this stuff. And you pick out of like the 25 pictures I have up there, you pick the goofiest one. Thank you.
You don't have 25 pictures, and that's the thing. I picked the one that was the easiest to edit because the pictures that are there are of you and your family, and you don't really get a.
Yeah.
Just send me selfies, okay?
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Yeah. I'll just spend the next day taking selfies.
Yes, exactly.
The funny thing is, when we got this phone, it came with a plan with my wife's phone, and she's like, "Here, you take this one. It's got a really good camera." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, you do YouTube." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I never used the actual picture, but the camera's supposedly really good. I don't know, but
yeah,
I don't take pictures. I take pictures of weird stuff that I see.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm like creeping through your fucking Facebook and your Instagram with all 10 pictures on your Instagram, and I'm scrolling there. I'm like, why is he taking fucking pictures of a goddamn rock? There's 10 of them.
No, that was my kid. That was my kid. My kid would literally. My daughter, she will grab my phone and take. She can't unlock it because she doesn't know the code, but she can open the camera, and she'll take 15 pictures because she holds the button thinking it's video. She'll hold the button and it'll take like 25 pictures of one thing, and it's like, why is it a picture of your big toe?
But then
I don't know.
On Facebook.
Yeah, she'll post it. She won't even realize she posted it.
Yeah. No, I had to go through. My kids used to, because I bought a tablet a couple years ago for no fucking reason other than the fact that it was like $60. And it was in the scratch and open box section at Best Buy. And it was like $60, and it was normally like $300. And I don't think up until this point I've ever really used it that much. But my kids were using it. Well, for Christmas this year, I just bought them all brand new tablets. And I was like, okay, give me my tablet back, And I get on there, and there's like they've eaten up all the memory on it because they're taking pictures and they're making videos, and it's like, and it would be like. My son would make a video and it'd be like, oh, and today on blah blah blah, we're going to look at my superheroes, and it would be 15 minutes long. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
And he doesn't post it anywhere. He doesn't post it anywhere. It's for himself.
Yeah, and my girls would do the same thing. It'd just be random ass videos of them singing and dancing, and I'm like. This is why there's no memory. This is why you can't download games or anything, because you guys have freaking 4-hour epic movies on this thing. You're not
Spielberg would be jealous.
Yeah. Calm down, Spielberg and Scorsese. My son over here, a little fucking Quentin Tarantino. These are the Avengers, and these are the Justice League, and now they're gonna fight. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
He's grabbing dolls and banging them together.
So I know all about that. I mean, I kept a couple videos just because they cracked me up and they made me laugh.
Yeah, some of them are actually really cute, but some of them you're like, really?
Yeah, like, what is wrong with you, kid?
Does your kid, any of your kids ever collect like rocks that they found a rock? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
My oldest son is obsessed with rocks. I mean, I have enough rocks in his bedroom right now that I could gravel. I could put a driveway in my living room. and I was cleaning his room this weekend, and I was like, dude, pick up your rocks. Well, what am I going to do with them? I don't know. You have
Why did you bring them in the house?
you have rock sacks. Like, we bought him like these like felt bags to put his
like Crown Royal bags.
Yeah, they're not Crown Royal, but they're like that type of bag. Oh Jesus! But
Nice.
it's like put them in your rock bag. No, I don't really want to. And I was like, well, you got one or two options. You can
Go
put
get
them in
him
the
a rock
bag.
polisher.
Yeah, I said you can put them in the bag and get them up off the floor. I'm gonna go buy a slingshot and we're gonna start shooting you with them. He's like, you just shoot these out of a slingshot. I'm like, oh fuck.
Just shit. You gave him an idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna come home with a rock through my fucking TV.
Well, of course, just don't show him the slingshot I brought in when we did that egg toss thing at for science class and at Career Center.
That 3-person one.
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
Yeah.
That was actually my cousin's. I don't know where the hell they got it, but I've been looking for one ever since. They got it taken away for a while when my younger cousin was in junior high, because him and his buddies were standing on the roof of the house slinging eggs at the neighbor's house.
The neighbor 300 yards away.
Yeah, 300, 400 yards away. Just
that's one of those things that you go to like the bike trail and you post up in the cut and then you just start shooting people on the bike trail. Get you one of those ghillie suits or whatever they call it.
That thing you could, I mean, I think we hit the record at like almost 300 yards in class.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. It was like some kind of contraption we had to build or some dumb shit out.
Yeah, it was. You could build or bring something, and I was like, "Fuck that!" My cousin's got a slingshot that'll kill anything. Yeah. And I don't remember who was on my team, but we launched them fuckers, and I remember somebody took a 2x4 and dug a hole, and it went like 1.5 feet, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Stand back, boys! I got this."
We got to put you in that thing and launch you across the parking lot.
Oh my gosh! Did you see the YouTube video where the guys made a giant slingshot and shot the guy across into a like kiddie pool?
Wait, what?
Yeah, these guys made a slingshot, like full on big, like they used 400 yards of medical tubing that they used to tie off with, and strapped dude in it and shot him into a kiddie pool that was 40 feet away.
Why a kiddie pool?
It was in the middle of a field. That's what I mean. They put a kiddie pool there as cushioning, I guess, but I'm pretty sure the video is fake, and I'm pretty sure it's been deemed as fake because there's like what? Because he had to go at least 100 yards, and he lands in this kiddie pool and stands up like it was nothing. I'm like, if you're going that far, that fast, and land in a kiddie pool that's only got like 5 inches of water in it, you're going to do more than stand up and dance around. You're going to hurt. But the video looked cool.
Well, I think Twisted Tea has like Twisted Tea catapults. Where you could, like,
so you've seen that Twisted Tea video.
Yeah, you can shoot. But I think it's a real thing where you can just shoot your buddy fucking Twisted Teas. Now, I don't know who would drink a Twisted Tea. Fucking
that guy that knocked that kid out did. That guy that knocked that kid out did. That's what made Twisted Tea put Twisted Tea on the map. Where the point where I was like, I'd try that.
That stuff is gross.
Is it? That's what I was.
It's not.
I'm weird like that. Like if I buy a Monster, the Monster energy drink, I only buy the black can with the green. I don't buy the other ones because I'm afraid that it might taste bad.
I like the white can. And
then
they got the black can with the red. That one's really good. And then they got the blue, which is really good. There's a couple, but I try to stay away from Monster because the problem with me with drinking Monster is I crash hard. I end up drinking 3 or 4 of them in a day because that crash is so hard and so fast that I need them. So, and then I get all jittery and shaky and everything.
You've heard about NOS energy drink, right?
I know what it is. I don't.
Okay, well, NOS energy drink sponsored a YouTube channel called Donut, and Donut talks about it's a car show, and they sponsor, and their main host, they're like, we're gonna give you enough, we're gonna give you money, and we're gonna give you enough NOS energy drinks, and they, the sponsor is the main host is like 25 years old, and he had a heart attack because he drank too much of this NOS. like it's a contributing factor to, it's not good for you.
No,
because
not
it's
at all,
way
man.
too much caffeine, and which is why my wife won't let me buy it. Every once in a while, I'm allowed to buy one. I buy one down here. It tastes the same. It's not enough. It's not the same amount of caffeine. It's called Viva 100% or something like that. It tastes exactly like Monster, but it only costs like 50 cents as opposed to $3 a can.
Yeah, I drink Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Can't get Mountain Dew down here.
When the fuck kind of commie bullshit is that? But
I don't know what it is. It's weird. You can, but if you want to pay like $5 for a small can.
Yeah, but the Kickstart, it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper than all the other ones. But it literally just gives me that little kick in the ass that I need in the morning when
coffee
when
just
I'm
won't
dragging
work.
ass. Well, I don't like coffee, so
I love coffee.
But there's no crash, so I can drink one. I'll drink two throughout the day, but it doesn't like shoot me through the moon and leave me all jittery and shaky and all that stuff.
Well, that's the problem with Monsters. Is like it doesn't get me all jittery and anything, but I love the taste. So if I had enough money, I'd buy 4 or 5 and drink 4 or 5 in a row, and of course die of a heart attack. So my wife won't let me buy them because of that fact.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get real jittery and shaky off of them, but at the same time, I need 3 or 4 of them to make it through the day after I have that first one because the crash is so bad. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have Coke, Coca-Cola, and I buy 3-liter every day.
Yeah,
Coke, and because I drink it throughout the day, and then I drink it with my meals and stuff.
I'll be right back. I'm being interrupted. You can keep talking.
Go ahead. But it's one of those things. It's like you can't drink those high energy drinks all the time because they'll kill you. Literally, it's ridiculous. Oh, my ear itches. It's one of those things. I can't do it. It's not good for you. See, finally, I'm not the one being interrupted because my kids are at the grandmother's for the next couple days because I don't know why. Nobody tells me anything. They just, we're going to grandma's. All right, that's fine by me. See you when you get back.
Fucking little neighbor kids.
Nice.
I'm expecting a package for my daughter's birthday from Summer.
Okay.
Fucking neighbor kid. He just like comes over and he knows that Cash isn't, my son isn't here on Wednesdays, but he comes over every Wednesday night, and I'm like, first of all, dude, it's like 8:00.
We have I'm trying to explain how the houses are set up. We're in a gated community, and there's 67 houses in the gated community, and fucking there's a couple kids my kids' age, and if I walk to go, open the gate for my wife, these kids are like, can your kids come and play? And I'm like, it's 9:00 at night. No, they're in bed. Go away.
No, go away.
Or it's 6:00 in the morning. My wife's heading to work. Go away. It's way too early. I'm not even awake yet. Go play in the pool.
Frank Lentz in the comments said he was hooked on Monster Energy Zero Ultra a couple of years ago, and he understands. And I understand. I like the manic it produced. Yeah, it just
it's a dangerous thing. When
I take,
don't get me wrong, Monster. If you want to sponsor us,
yeah, or not,
but I'll put a big Monster on the wall back here. But
yeah,
I love the taste. But I can't drink it.
It's good. I agree. I do like the taste, but that's the thing. Like long road trips. Like when I was moving up here and we'd made several trips back and forth from South Carolina to Ohio. It was usually after
that's
I
a
would,
journey and a half.
yeah, but it was usually after I would get off work at night. So I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work until 6 or 7 o'clock that night. Literally come home, grab something to eat and shower or whatnot, and then hit the road. And I would drink 4 or 5 of them sons of bitches because by the time we got back, by the time we got up to Ohio, I would have been up for well over 24 hours. But then I'd get up here and I'd be so exhausted, but I couldn't fall asleep because I had all that shit in my system, and my heart would just be like pounding out,
racing a mile a minute. And it almost be better if you did cocaine.
Yeah, right.
Not that I know what that does, but apparently it's the liquid equivalent.
Yeah, no, 45
Dude, Frank's saying I wish I had one now. Well, 4 or 5 is potential heart stopping.
Oh yeah, I would put them down, but now like I said, I like the kickstart because it gives me that extra oomph that I need to keep going, and I can drink a couple of them, keeps me going, and I don't have that crash, I don't have that jittery feeling, or anything like that. So I try to stay away from Monster and Nos and Bang. Bang is fucking disgusting, and you jackasses that swear on Bang being delicious, you need punched in the head.
No, that stuff's gross.
That stuff is disgusting.
I wish I could get the flavor of the black and green Monster without all the damn caffeine, because the flavor, I love the flavor.
Get you a vape. They I don't know if you guys can get flavored vape juice and stuff down there, but
oh yeah.
I used to. There was a guy on eBay, I think, years ago when I was on Periscope, and I was doing vape and chill is what I called my Periscope show. I used to order bottles of juice from him, and he could make any flavor. And I actually had a Monster flavor, and it was like a dead ringer. It was so good. But yeah, he used to hook me up with all kinds of free juice just because I would send people to him all the time. It's kind of like an unofficial official sponsor.
Right. Well, when I was vaping, I bought like a really cheap vape, and I bought the juice that I bought was popcorn flavored. It was butter popcorn. Oh, it was fucking amazing.
I've probably had every flavor under the sun, and I've had bought flavors specifically.
I had a really good chocolate flavor. Yeah, I love mixing the. I did a strawberry and popcorn butter mix that was really good, because just straight strawberry was too strawberry. It's too much fruit. But you mix it with like a little bit of grape or even with the chocolate and strawberries. Holy shit, that was awesome. But
back in the day when I first started, I had a Pepsi and Jack Daniel's flavor.
Nice.
That I would mix. Dude, it was ridiculous how good it was. It was like, man, I could just pump on that bad boy all day and not get fucking drunk as hell, and it tastes exactly like Jack Daniel's and Pepsi. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Frank, what is the Bulletproof Morning Blend? Is that a coffee?
That's what I was about to ask. It says you should look into Bulletproof Morning Blend. Takes 5 minutes to make, but you feel great, have amazing energy, and lose weight.
I think he called me fat.
I think he did. Look at that. Somebody else fat shaming you today, not me. Boom. He sent us a link. It's a recipe. It's a diet recipe, bulletproof coffee. It's coffee.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to Google it. I'll be fat all day. At least I'm not 5'2".
Hey, you know what? I'll be as big as round as he says. I'm not affiliated, just addicted.
Just addicted. Nice.
You know what? I don't have a problem if I gained 400 pounds tomorrow. I don't think I'd have a problem with it as long as I can still function.
Well, how much do you weigh right now?
Like 145, 150, something like that.
I don't think you'd be able to function too well at 500.
Well, you know what I mean, though. I mean, I haven't.
Dude,
Like I
you
have
realize
I have a beer belly. I don't drink beer, but
do you
it
realize if you
doesn't
weighed
bother me.
400 pounds,
I'd be big as round as I am tall.
you'd look like
I look like a ball.
you'd look like that little bitch from Willy Wonka. That blew up
Augustus
and turned
Gloop.
into like
Hell yeah.
that chick.
Oh, you're
Wasn't it
talking about
that girl?
the Violet. Violet.
Yeah, yeah, that little
I don't
mouthy
remember her
bitch
last
that
name.
turned into like a giant blueberry or whatever,
Yeah.
or a jawbreaker.
The original Willy Wonka, not that crap one with Johnny Depp. I saw a TikTok
I know she's
about
a child, and I shouldn't call her a bitch, but that kid needed.
That chick needed a punch in the nose. I watched a TikTok yesterday about Willy Wonka, about the original, and it's the question was, if you could punch any fictional character in the face because the character's an asshole on screen or something, who would it be? And this guy pops up a picture of Uncle Joe. He says, "This motherfucker, this is who I would punch," because the dad slaved away and everybody's lollygagging around. The kids, doing stuff. But Uncle Joe just sitting there for 20 some odd years in bed. But soon as he's got a chance to go to the fucking chocolate factory, this motherfucker dances around like Michael fucking Jackson, going, "I'm going to the chocolate factory, fuck y'all." That's a dick. I never really thought about it. I was like, wow, that is kind of a dick move on that guy's part.
That really is. I never really watched the movie that much. I wasn't a big fan of it. But that's a good question. We should put that on Facebook. Maybe on Instagram.
I knew who my answer is for that. My answer is not Uncle Joe. My going back to the whole Harry Potter nerd here is Dolores Umbridge. That bitch. Oh, she's just mean.
I don't even know who you're talking about. But
ask your daughter. Ask your daughter about who is Dolores Umbridge and if she would punch her in the face. And I guarantee your daughter would be like, "Oh, I'd knock that bitch the fuck out."
Yeah, I can't watch that later on.
I can't watch that episode of Harry Potter or that movie of Harry Potter because I'm just like, "Oh, that bitch. Oh, she's just straight up mean."
I don't know what fictional character I would want to punch in the face.
Fake Captain America.
That's a given. I think I'd want to punch the Karate Kid Ralph Macchio in the face because he was the real asshole in that movie.
Have you seen Cobra Kai?
No, I have not.
Holy shit, dude! Totally worth it.
I want to. My kids love
totally worth it.
My kids love Cobra Kai.
And if you actually look back at, if you break down the Karate Kid movie, the first one with Macchio, you realize that Macchio is kind of the bad guy.
That's what everybody says. Like in all reality, he's kind of the
he wins his fucking Yoda. Frank says Yoda. No, but Macchio, to win the tournament, he kicked dude in the face, which is an illegal move.
Yeah, but he also fought the entire fucking Cobra Kai class, and they tried to break his leg in half.
Yeah, but it all started because Johnny goes down to talk to Allie, and he's like, "Hey, we should talk," and she's like, "Fuck you." And Macchio should be like, "Look, you guys got issues."
Allie was the
I'll let you guys.
She's the one that gets punched in the face. It's all her fault. It's always a woman's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Hey, I just want to admit, Chris said that, not me. Because
I do not advocate violence on women, but it is 2020.
Thoughts and expressions mentioned on this podcast are not exactly the thoughts and expressions thought by both podcasters.
Words are hard, aren't
they were. Views and expressions. That's what I was talking about. Views and expressions expressed by both podcasters.
We're only podcast hosts. You think we'd be able to talk? Hey, look, man, it's 2021, and you want equality. That comes along with it.
That reminds me of another TikTok I saw. This guy asked this girl. He's like, I get bored, and he says, "Do you think when women could and should be 100% independent?" And she says, "Yes." He goes, "Okay. So if a man pays for a maid He pays for a private cook, and he pays for a prostitute. Why does he need women? And she says, love. And he goes, well, so you're saying women can only be the loved? Oh, dude, Frank just said Jar Jar Binks.
Okay.
I can go with that.
I like Jar Jar Binks. I think he was
really.
He was a very important character in Star Wars. Star Wars: Return to the Rogue Planet. He was very inspirational. Had it not been for Jar Jar Binks, I don't think that Captain Kirk and Harry Potter could have ever been able to defeat. Could have ever defeated the hobbits on Middle Earth.
I got one for you.
I'm just saying.
I got something that will ruin your childhood.
And
are you ready?
Just triggered all the fucking nerds.
Oh, all us nerds are all pissed now. I got something that'll ruin your childhood. If you're ready for it.
Yeah, ruin.
Indiana Jones. In the first Indiana Jones would have ended up just fine if Indy would have stayed home.
It's been so long since I've seen those movies. I don't even understand.
Well, Indiana Jones, they're looking for the
weren't they looking for the lost treasure or something or another?
Yeah, it's like the Ark of the Covenant, okay? Yeah, Skull Island. No, they're looking for the Ark of the Covenant, okay? And the Nazis dig it up, and they capture Indy and the chick, and they got Indy and the chick tied to a pole, and then the Nazis open it, and then all the Nazis die, which means fucking Indiana Jones could have stayed home, and the same thing would have happened.
But then
because the Nazis were going to open it anyways.
But then he wouldn't have got the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, the only thing he does is he actually gets the Ark of the Covenant to the government, which they store it in a box.
Well, that's his job.
Yeah, well,
the man's doing his job, and you want to criticize him. How's it going, Theo? Sounds like you're the asshole in this scenario.
I'm just saying. If you watch that movie, you're like, wow, Indy really didn't need to be here.
Yeah, it's been remember me from Periscope. You might need to help a brother out, Theo. But I'm mad at myself that I knew enough about any of those characters in that whole scenario I just laid out.
Yeah, you are not a Star Wars guy.
No, I'm not. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm not a Lord of the Rings, a Harry Potter.
I'm so not Lord of the Rings. I cannot get through those movies.
How are you not Lord of the Rings, but you're Game of Thrones? They're essentially the same fucking thing.
No, they are not.
Minus
Game of Thrones is? Game of Thrones is 3 movies about fucking people walking. It's basically a fucking hiking movie.
Well, let's not forget about the best part where Samwise and Frodo Baggins just go to town on each other.
I'll tell you, that would have made a much better ending because Frodo leans up against Sam leans up against that doorway and he's like, yeah. He's about ready to tell them other two to jump out the room so he can go suck him off, man.
Yeah, you're the type of guy that likes Hobbit gay porn. Cool. No judging. This is a judge-free zone. This is a safe place.
No, that's how to piss off a Lord of the Rings guy because that would have made a much better ending for that fucking movie. Because I'm going to send you a scene from a movie that they talk about that.
I might be a guy that you followed on Periscope, Theo. I was on there for about 4 years, almost 5 years, something like that.
I never got into the whole on live thing until I actually got live on TikTok.
I've been doing this shit
balls here.
for a good while. I just wish I'd have been smart enough back then to do all the things that I'm doing now. And hell, I would have already had a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, it's essentially what I'm doing now is the same shit, minus the fact that I have you to talk to, and I'm not just
Well,
talking to.
the hard thing about doing a podcast by yourself is you literally go a lot.
There's
The
two
nice
of
thing
us.
is
We do a lot
when
of.
you but you do
Or-
you do when you go live, you actually read the chat, which is actually really good compared to some people where you can comment 400,000 times, they won't say nothing.
Yeah. Well, I let it be fed by the people who are in there. I try to, I'm just hanging out. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's essentially what I'm doing here. You and I are just hanging out. Like, I mean, we're an hour and a half in, and I mean, I've got news stories here that I was going to bring up, but why bring them up when we're having a good conversation and it's flowing, and
yeah, it's one of those things
popping up and this, that, or the other thing.
Speaking of news, do you have any good news? Because now I'm curious.
I mean, I got some. I don't know about news, but I got a couple stories here.
I'm curious.
I don't know about but just kind of interesting.
Oh, interesting's fun.
That we talked about that last week. We talked about that Josh fight.
Yeah, I actually found the thing and posted it.
I think we were the first ones that actually kind of brought that up because it blew up this week after we talked about it Saturday. A lot of the radio shows and stuff that I listened to, they've been talking about it all week. I'm like, what? I did that. I already did that.
Yeah,
sons of
you guys are we're finally ahead of the curve.
Now, granted,
6 episodes in, 5 episodes in, we're ahead of the curve for 5 minutes.
Their viewing audience is 2 million plus listeners. Where
we're at 2 plus.
Half the game is just read the chat room, dude. The chat, it's so much fun when I would do my lives or when I would go live to get in there and bullshit with everybody and just hang out. I mean, outside of the fact that we were all in different states or anything like that, just to be able to, you felt like we were all together because I was drinking. Right. For the most part, they said they were drinking. I'm sure they were because I know that as the night went on, I was getting drunk and
everybody else was still typing correctly.
No, they weren't. They were typing drunkenese, and I was speaking drunkenese, so I could read their comment. I was so drunk, and I thought it was drunkenese. Either way, it's a win-win.
When you're reading cross-eyed, it all looks bad.
Yeah, man. There's so many people in here chatting. It's really just one person just blowing up the chat board.
Speaking of the Josh fight thing, we got into a little bit of the Role Models movie.
Yeah.
And I have a correction on your part that in the movie it is called Lair. In real life, it is LARPing.
That's what I told you. In real life, it's LARPing.
Yes, but in the movie, it was called Lair.
You just can't be wrong.
You were trying to correct me, saying in the movie it's LARPing.
You know what? I think this is a good time where we introduce the new segment that was brought on by Haas and Summer.
I'm not singing.
Jeff sings since he was the second coming of Freddie Mercury.
Not today.
Go ahead. That's what
it's not going to happen. I'll tell you what. I'll sing you dance.
Bicycle.
I'll sing you dance, motherfucker.
So everybody keeps calling me the
good movie. I was talking to my kids. We were watching. My kids love the movie Goonies. Mm-hmm. That's the movie they need to remake. I'd watch a remake of that, but
I don't know if they can.
I fear it would be too woke.
I just don't think they can capture the same magic that they did back then.
The difference is they would do it all on their phone. They were like, we haven't left the living room yet. We're 45 minutes into this movie. Maybe we should
Yeah,
go do something.
the whole
Let's get an Uber. Let's get an
Yeah.
Uber out to that abandoned restaurant.
I just don't think that they could recapture that movie again. And I know they've talked about doing a reboot and bringing the original cast and this, that, and the
I
other.
think they. I think Stranger Things is kind of the quote unquote reboot of because it takes place in the 80s, so it's that show is really good, except for it's seriously fictional.
Well, that was another one, man. I tried to get into. My kids loved it, and I tried to get into that show, and I just a couple episodes in, I was just done. I could not.
Yeah, it's a little far fetched. I liked it for all the '80s references.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of shows and movies are doing a lot of '80s, going back to the '80s. Right? The last season of American Horror Story was American Horror Story '84, and it was all done in the '80s, and it was so cool to have that flashback. And it was I don't know, it was kind of a take on the old slasher films / American history twist. American Horror Story, American history, American Horror Story with their twist and all that. So it was pretty cool.
No, what I found interesting with Stranger Things is like they went super detailed. Even like the McDonald's holder for the fries is the old McDonald's logo, and like they had to make all that shit. They couldn't just go out and call McDonald's like, "Can we get 14 of those?" And like, "No, we don't make them anymore." So they had to make them. The prop department the prop guys had to go nuts with that shit.
And that's how it was with that's hard to say. American Horror Story '84. Everything was I mean the wardrobe and the cars and the music, and it was like, man, they went all out for it, but it was so good.
But yeah, I think remaking stuff is not necessarily a good idea.
It's lazy.
Well, it's lazy, number one, but not on top of that, you're not going to get the same reaction, I guess, or the same thrill.
Well, I
like,
mean,
you know, you watch Goonies, like you watch Goonies, and you're like, wow, this is so good. You name a kid that could play Mouth now, you know, or you know, what was the other one? Or like remaking Back to the Future. If somebody remade Back to the Future, they would fuck that franchise up so bad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
that's the thing. I mean,
the new thing is for remaking stuff is they switch genders, like they did with Ghostbusters and stuff. You can't do Back to the Future the same story with genders reversed, because then it's a dad hitting on a daughter. That's just weird.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I understand why they're trying to do all this gender, remakes with gender.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. I mean, the Ghostbusters completely.
Oh, it was terrible.
And I never watched it. But that was mainly because the previews never really.
It was so bad.
And then everybody that watched it was like, "Oh, that was just fucking horrible." And I'm like, "I'm not even going to waste my time."
Like it was hard to watch.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with like they redid Footloose several years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't.
That's what everybody said. Everybody said, it's surprisingly really good. But
and the songs they used in it were actually really good.
Yeah. But they changed it up enough to where it's like, you don't really need to modernize that movie, because that'd be like if they tried to redo.
They didn't have now. What's his name? The guy that did what's his name? The preacher in the new Footloose. He's not John Lithgow.
Well, yeah. And the main character was a girl, so.
Well, no, it was a dude. It was a dude. It was he but he's from Boston, and he's got that real thick Boston accent.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And
That is an
uh,
absolutely horrendous accent. Sorry, Bostonians, but your accent's fucking trash.
oh, I love a Boston accent.
I can't stand it. It makes me, oh god, it's like nails on a chalkboard, like that, and that like trashy English accent. You know what I mean? Like Sharon
Yeah,
Osbourne.
oh, like really bad. Of
Yeah,
Sharon Osbourne.
yeah, like that. Like, oh, I'm trying to think of a word to describe it.
Like no, I wouldn't say Cockney. Like if, when American tries to do an English accent.
Yeah, no, it's like that. It's like a trailer park version of the English
Oh,
accent.
okay, yeah.
I just, God, man, how are you an hour away from Britain or whatever, and your accent is so horrible, you know?
Yeah, well, that's like watching the movie Snatch.
Mhm.
You forget. I mean, Brad Pitt did an amazing job, and his accent is spot on. Did you see The Gentleman?
I don't think so, but you should go into that.
Check it out.
I've got to piss.
Well, actually, I have to. Unfortunately, I have to get going. Yeah, I have to run over to the office real quick.
Who has to run over to the office?
I have to go turn in paperwork. We have to turn in the money we collected today. We're not allowed to keep it.
I think you do that at the end of your shift.
Can't do it until the cashiers at the office are there.
Really?
Because some people don't actually leave the hotel until right now. Depending on what hotel you leave early.
You guys have your tourist trap people in the hotels until
some of them. It depends on each hotel has different shifts, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hotel I'm in, I have to be out of there by 1 o'clock at the latest. But some of the hotels, they'll let people stay until almost like 9 o'clock.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because usually, like most of the like when I was down in Charleston, most of the tourist places, like the people that would sit out in front of the stores and whatnot, they were normally done by like 5 or 6, at least from my understanding. Because
it's usually the younger crowds that those hotels, like the spring break hotels. Hotels that hold all the spring breakers, those are the ones that will let you stay as late as possible.
But what are they? Are they selling stuff for the next day, or?
Well, yeah, you're selling stuff for the next day, but you're also selling the clubs for that night too.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like down in Charleston, usually by like 5 or 6 o'clock, everybody had already, they had already booked everything, so they were able to roll into the tours and shit like that.
Exactly. But yeah, like I said, unfortunately, I do have to get going. I have to run over to the office. And I just got a message from my boss saying, "Are you coming?"
Well, I mean, we made it through without any technical difficulties. I know.
I'm surprised.
Haps held up pretty good tonight, so that's a good sign. Hopefully,
I think it all comes down to timing. I think here in about another 15 minutes, it's going to start to glitch.
We've had a couple minor ones, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, nothing real noticeable.
But other than that, I mean, it's been a pretty good show so far.
Oh my gosh, my sides hurt.
maybe one of these days we'll actually get into like news stories and shit like that. But
we'll save those for Saturday.
Yeah, well,
Saturday we can go earlier.
Yeah, when we actually this Saturday might be a little tricky. We have my daughter's birthday, so
okay.
We might have to do it. Yeah, we might have to do it Sunday.
That's not a problem for me.
Which is fine. I'll break my rule of that being my day off and not doing anything. But
I'll take Saturday off and.
Yeah, well, Saturday I will be at a birthday party all day. I actually have to work Saturday morning, but then I got her birthday party until God knows when Saturday.
Yeah, you'll be too drunk to do a podcast anyways.
No, I probably, in all honesty, I probably won't be drinking because I have to drive. So
Oh yeah.
I'll just be kind of hanging out. I might have a few, but nothing too crazy, like 3 or 4, if that.
All
But
right.
that's because I have to drive back. But we'll probably have to do the next one Sunday. Anyways, this is
Not a
boring talk
problem.
that we can chit chat about.
Yeah, we can
Um,
talk about this later. But
but
yeah, go
we'll
ahead and give us an outro.
go ahead and shut her down, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. To the live viewers and the chatters, you guys are fucking awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Jeff, thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit
Thank
tonight.
you,
This was
sir.
fun. And if you guys aren't already, we got to get better about this too. If you're not already, go check us out
I
on
would just
social
forget.
media, all under Nonsensical Nonsense across the board. And if you want to email us for whatever reason, doesn't really matter. You can always
Sponsors.
email us, sponsors. Budweiser, we're talking to you, you sons of bitches. But you can email us at nonsensicalnonsense podcast@gmail.com. Was fun. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you
Later.
guys Sunday.
Sunday. I knew you were gonna do it. All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Man.
Everybody else, see you
Peace out, guys.
Sunday. Bye.